that you and your first husband were in?
Well, we were in poultry business for a long time, and then we decided we'd go into the store business. We had two partners in with us, and then we started that business in 1970. It was called C&T Supply, which we only had liquid feed and maybe a little dry feed at that time. The liquid feed was cattle feed, and the formula came from a company in Mississippi, Jeffco Manufacturing in Mississippi. We had a lot of molasses in it. We had urea. We had all kinds of vitamins, which the state approved. And so we sold that for several years. And then later on, Mr. Tharp decided, and Mr. Hoots that was with us, that they wanted out, so we bought their partnership. And then Mr. Tharp sold his building, and we bought the rest of the building. We renamed it Call's Farm and Garden. And we had all kinds of farm equipment. We had hardware of all kinds, sporting goods. Then we started our garden center, which we really enjoyed doing the garden center. We had a lot of vegetables and flowers. And on Mother's Day, you just couldn't believe it, the people that were there looking for baskets for their mother. So it was really enjoyable. I enjoyed all the people. And I see the people today, and I can remember their face, but the name won't come back.
Now, the feed that you were doing, was that sold to the farmers or chicken or?
To the farmers.
Was it chicken feed or?
No, it was cattle feed.
Cattle feed.
We had tanks that we'd sell to the farmer, and we'd deliver the tank to them, and then we'd fill it up with the liquid feed. It had wheels in it where the cow would lick the wheel and get the liquid off in their tongue, and they really loved it. It was supposed to be a supplement to their other feed that they were getting and make them eat hay and whatever else they had to eat better.
So you had a truck?
We had two delivery trucks that we'd fill them up. We made the feed ourselves there at the plant, and then we'd fill up the trucks, and the drivers would take it out to the farms. We had them in Watauga County, Ashe County, Allegheny, Alexandria, all over. So that went on for several years, and finally the people, I reckon they just got to selling their cattle and setting Christmas trees instead, so it kind of went down.
Now, how long did you operate the hardware in the garden center?
Well, the hardware in the garden center, we started it in 1978, and we were there until 1989, December of 89.
And you just decided to retire?
Well, we didn't retire. We retired from the store business, went into the Christmas tree business.
Oh.
So
where did you grow the Christmas trees?
In Allegheny and Ashe County, at my home place in Ashe, and then we had 150 some acres in Allegheny, and we planted all of that in Christmas trees.
So you still have property there?
Oh yes, we still have a few Christmas trees, but they're about gone, and we're not setting anymore.
Would you ever consider opening another business in a different career?
No, probably not. Not at my age.
I think this was written for younger folks.
I think it might have been.
Well, I'll see if I can find anything. If female, do you feel there have been more or harder obstacles in being a business owner? Did you have any? Well,
not really. Of course, my husband Jay did the biggest part of it, and I was bookkeeper, and of course helped in the retail part of it and the sales. But he was the boss, so actually we did it together. So.
Where did you grow up in Ashe?
I grew up in Ashe County.
Where did you go to school?
In Healing Springs High School.
Healing Springs.
I played basketball my whole 4 years.
I was going to ask you if you played basketball, but you're fairly tall.
Yes, I played basketball my whole 4 years of high school. And of course,
did you go on to college?
No, I didn't. I got lined up to go to college, and of course my parents were rather old, and I really had to stay there.
Describe your most outstanding memory while working at the Call Farm and Garden and Hardware, whatever.
Ooh, they
You
were
got a funny story about Connie coming? Did Connie ever buy anything from you?
yeah, once in a while he'd come down there and buy something.
So you got any memories about working in there? Any funny stories about?
Well, not really. You know, there's so many that you couldn't even name them all, really. I guess the main thing that I enjoyed the most was in the garden center and getting ready to pot the plants and getting baskets ready for Mother's Day. That was the most exciting thing. So, and one thing, we were robbed. I can't remember what year it was. It might have been in '87. But somebody broke in and took 29 pistols. So that was an exciting morning because Jay was outside when I came into work, and he was helping some customer, and I saw the locks had been cut off all the cabinets. And so I ran out and yelled at him, and he hadn't seen it. And of course that was really, really scary time.
What were some of the things what was one of the biggest selling items that you had in a store there that you ran? What was it?
The biggest selling item really was probably seed, garden seed, farm seed, fertilizer, and mostly dog feed and pet feeds.
Did y'all open that after didn't the FCX move out there?
Southern States. We leased the building to Southern States, and when we went out in '89.
Okay,
and they were there 2 years actively, and in 2 years that they still rented it, but they didn't have anything there.
Do y'all still own the building, or did you?
We have just recently sold it to Blevins
so you
Workshop.
owned it until recently, okay.
Right.
Okay.
What advice would you have for like a young entrepreneur wanting to start his or her business? Is there anything that you can share with them?
Well, they really need to be interested in what they're going to do. The main thing is really love what they're going to try to do. And then when they get there, put all their life into it and work at it.
You're talking about 18 hours a day?
Just about, or 24 sometimes. Oh, that's true, because we...
Got any funny story you want to talk about Connie?
No, I better not tell you no funny stories on him.
Yeah, I think
That's it.
That's all I got.
That's